We live. Okay, welcome to this live stream from Riverhorse. So this week I'll start as usual with the newsletter. I'll have a quick look at the newsletter where basically we announce all the latest news. The main thing, the main point is the official release of Filly Sized Follies, which is the last book, the latest book in the Tails of Equestria series of adventures. And together with it, to celebrate it in a way, we've created a new feature, which will be a regular feature on our newsletter, on our website, our social media, which is the creature feature. So we create new or we re-release creatures that were in adventures, or we create new ones, and we'll be publishing them regularly, once a week, so that you can have more access to more of these creatures. The first one is the kindlings, which are fieries, and together with them we have published a template. The idea is that, by downloading the template you can create your own characters and add them, characters, monsters, creatures, beasts, ponies, anything you like, and add them to your games. It's a digital file, so if you can modify it with Photoshop, other Paint, and basically with those you can change the format and make your own creatures. You can, I suppose, use images from the internet or draw your own images, much better. And if somebody makes some really cool stuff, with cool rules, cool picture, and sends it to us, but with pending approval, of course, but with our approval, we will be able to publish it as well as a creature feature. So you can actually add to the game for everybody, which I think is a really cool thing to do. And what's after that on the newsletter? After that, there's another of our weekly comics from Caesar, featuring me and the hippo. And we are role-playing there, and it's all about how fierce hippos are in real life and in role-playing. Adorable. The next section of the newsletter features some of the contents you guys have provided. One is a podcast where I talk about Dark Crystal and making the game, designing the game, working with Hansen, and of course Dark Crystal is becoming hotter. I don't know if you've seen those pictures from Age of Resistance that have been appearing on the internet, and looking good. Looking forward to that. And after that, there's a review of Terminator Genesis: Rise of the Resistance. That one, so it shows off all the contents, all the gameplay, etc. And so thank you for making that. And please, guys, if you want to go and have a look and leave some comments, that would be great for the people that made the video, or the videos and the podcast. And finally, the last section of the newsletter reminds you of the pre-orders, things that are in pre-order and actually almost here. In fact, the Fieries for Labyrinth are coming, and in fact they are literally just landed in our distribution and they will start to go into stores now, and pre-orders will be sent very soon, probably next week, I would think, which is great news for the Fieries and Labyrinth. Of course, the pre-order is still open for the Hunger Games game, which is massive, and frankly one of my favorite games we ever designed. I really like that kind of game. Lots of plastic miniatures, it's like the good old Axis and Allies, so that kind of style game, very cool. And of course the last thing you can pre-order is the RPG, the Labyrinth adventure game. So that at the moment is proving again very, very successful. People are really liking the idea, and thank you very much for that much enthusiasm. And so that's the last thing you can pre-order. And of course there's some notes about finding us at the UK Game Expo. That will be in a couple of weeks, at the end of the month, in Birmingham. So looking forward to seeing you there. There will be a lot of stuff you can try there, buy there, and explore basically on our stand there. We'll talk about it a bit later as well in more detail. Right, enough of this looking at the newsletter. I was thinking that once I've seen the new adventure for Tails of Equestria coming out, I will just quickly show you through the range of Tails of Equestria, because I just myself recently gone through all of this and just looked at all of it, and I feel very proud of seeing this all coming into reality, and seeing how much fun and adventure we have created, how much material there is to enjoy, and with your family, with your friends together. So I thought it was a good thing just to quickly show you what the range looks like at this time. By the way, if you have any questions, please do ask in the comments, and I'm sure that Jack will read them to me, and I can answer them. I'll do my best to answer them. So, where does it all start? If you're into Tails of Equestria, if you can have the close camera in. So, well, where does it begin? If you're never role-played, I guess, or if you're introducing young children, a good place to start is the starter set. Well, I'm putting it upside down. Is the starter set, where basically you can begin your adventures, but with this is like a choose your own adventure, where the player or players use the regenerated characters, these young ponies, Earth Pony, Unicorn, or Pegasus, and then you adventure and you go into a dragon's cave and you have an adventure. Choose your own adventure, you know. Go to paragraph 37 and go to paragraph 6. So you would adventure after that. Meet, of course, the dragon which we've seen in the TV series. And yeah, let's realize that actually I have shown you the characters upside down. I have to get used to this new layout. Okay. And dice. Basic set of dice and bases, because you have standees here for the characters. So the actual characters you can play, and the dragon himself, tokens of friendship, and some items you can find. There's also, I probably shouldn't say this, but there are secret maps and end maps in here. There's more than one map, I just say. Okay, so that's your starting point for people that are not veteran role players. Well, if you are a veteran role player, maybe you want to start straight from the rulebook. The rulebook of Tails of Equestria, which takes you through character creation and the rules, which are, you know, friendly and simple, but they have a lot of depth. There's a combat section, or rather a scaffold section here, and there's also a little adventure at the end, the pet predicament, which will basically introduce you to the concept of playing in Equestria. It's a little bestiary, which shows you some of the creatures, some from the show, some that we created. So that's a good starting point. Also, by the way, we should not forget the book includes dice. It's got a d8, a d10. So I don't look, I'll point, and I rolled a 7. There you go. So everything you need is here. The rulebook. There's 2 more hardbacks in the range, which are the Bestiary of Equestria, possibly my favorite book. There's a plethora of creatures, characters, going from, you know, dragons of various kinds to ponies and other beasts, sea phoenixes, and indeed famous ponies like shining armor, and indeed also new player races. So you can actually choose to play not just as the ponies as in the basic game, but you can play as a dragon, a griffin, a buffalo or a diamond dog, a changeling or a crystal pony, as well as their basic races. I think my favorite page has to be the Discord page. It's good fun. I'll leave it to you to explore it and find out. Following the Bestiary, there's another hardback, which is the official movie sourcebook. And this is based on the movie, on the long movie that was in the cinema, and against new settings, new places to explore, new races to play. So as well as a little adventure as well, you can actually play as other characters like a cat or a lizard folk. Some of the creatures are a pirate, a pirate, stuff like that. More races, more classes for you to enjoy and play. And of course, there's some more accessories. We made some special dice. If the basic dice are not enough, you may want to move to the special dice. There's Pegasus flavor, Earth Pony flavor, and Unicorn flavor. So you will get a little adventure in there, and a set of dice. These are shiny, glittery, these are transparent, these are marbled. So obviously in character with the race you choose. Another accessory is the tokens of friendship, which is a genuine, guaranteed, crystallized friendship. Here we go. A bag which holds your plot points. Which are your and these are key in the game. So basically, it's things you use to change the plot, or reroll dice, or upgrade dice, and they're earned by being a good friend to the other players and by acting, selflessly and helping people. So it kind of helps in make sure that the players try to act properly as good friends with other players, with creatures they meet. So if you're a good friend, you get crystals of friendship, and then you can spend it to improve your chances. And that's kind of we've seen the art books, we've seen the rule books. What the other big important thing that we keep publishing to support Tails of Equestria, of course, is a set of adventures, because in a role play you really want to have as much choice and as many adventures you can keep playing with your group. So we started off with the Curse of the Statuettes, which in its first incarnation was this box, and in each box you can find some accessories like the dice again. These are the same as the starter set. You find a GM screen which has information on this side for the GM, core information on the map of Equestria. It's got, of course, the classic function of the GM screen. There's a pad of character sheets, upside down character sheets. There's a pad of character sheets there for you in all the different type of ponies you can color in and add. So there's like earth ponies, there would be unicorns and pegasi. And then the adventure itself. So this is the Curse of the Statuettes adventure. And this is completely continues from the Pet Predicament. It is the first adventure that we published, full book adventure. It takes you on a ride to try to solve the mysterious Curse of the Statuettes. By the way, if you're a role player, you may be interested to know that the Curse of the Statuettes is actually a mechanic that I always used in every roleplay game that I ever played, regardless of the system. Whenever I'm the GM, I always turn the characters, the group, at random into statuettes. Normally because some kind of deity, a goddess or a god have been offended and decides to basically curse them to turn into statues randomly, which is an expedient. As a GM, it allows me that, if Bob or Jane are not here in this session, bang, they turn into statuettes, so the other players can just take them, carry them with them, and until the next session when, oh, he's back, bang, his character turns from a statuette back into his real character, which, for me, it kind of deals very well with the people not being there, missing a session, stuff like that, because it remains in story, within the story. So that was the first adventure, the Curse of the Statuettes. Then, if I remember my chronology right, the next one that kind of concludes that story arc is a Festival of Lights, where there is a lot of dungeon exploration, kind of traditional, underdark, underground exploration, and new monsters. And then we have a Judge Not by the Cover and a Haunting of Equestria, next two adventures. More of a parallel dreamlike dimension, a magical library with living books in them. So, and it's actually very cool from my point of view as we created them to see these three characters, as they evolve here. Firebrand, Strong Oak, and Filly Sized. Here, Filly Sized has turned into a statuette, but normally she looks like that. So you have the strong warrior, the kind of rogue type character, and the sorceress type character. And of course, last but not least, is the next adventure that comes in to conclude this series. For now, of course, we're still making them. I'll talk about the new releases in a second, the things that are planned in the future. Filly Sized Follies. Filly Sized Follies is a 3 adventures in one book. So in this book you have 3 separate adventures, which are suitable for lower level ponies and then fairly higher level ponies. So 2 smaller adventures, 1 slightly bigger adventure, where I think what we liked about this book in particular is that particularly if you're playing with young players, so children, is convenient to have a session that maybe you can finish in one night or in 2 nights. So you basically not to have a very long adventure that takes 3-4 nights. So that these are more flexible, more easy to play if you're short of time. So 3 adventures again, new art, new characters, loads of adventure, 3 times in here. The Wonder Balls. Okay, I was saying that I was going to say what was going to come after this. We are working on a expansion called Ogres and Oubliettes, which is another box. The box will include a lot of standees, figurines, basically a little adventure as well, but a lot of figurines that you can use of creatures, ponies, and that you can use in your games. So it again is a supplement that is both an adventure and a tool for basically improving all of your other games. And of course, there's more adventures in the writing and in approval right now, so they will keep coming out as well in the future. So as you can see, there is a lot of poniness and fun and joy and entertainment for all the family here. And you know, I love the series, and I really enjoy playing this with my daughter and her friends. I would recommend, if you do, to try it out, because it's really good, hearty, healthy fun. Unless there's anything else for us, then I think I will then bid you a good night, and I'll speak to you later then. Thank you.